All right, today we're going to use our word work and put that in our background. So we're going to be putting our cool colors in the background. You want to make sure you have your portrait out. You should have the glue on already and it should be dried. It's probably hard to see, but you can probably feel it as you go over. When I go over my lines, I feel a bump, so that tells me that my glue is there. And you're going to need some markers with cool colors, some crayons with cool colors, and some texture plates. The first thing that you want to do, and maybe do some guides with a pencil, is we're going to put some lines in the background kind of reminiscent of a landscape. So I'm going to put a line that goes across here, and maybe it continues on this side. And I want to leave a good amount of space. Maybe it's thinner here, gets bigger, comes down and gets thinner on this side. Here maybe it's thin again, but thinner in the middle more, trying to even it up. You want to fill this with just kind of layers of landscape as we go up the picture. And these lines are going to be filled with your words. So now I have some guidelines with pencil, and then I'm going to pick a marker. You do want to test it to make sure it works. So I'm going to take my word work paper and I'm just going to make sure my lines, my colors are nice and bright, no fuzzy markers. And I'm going to look at, first I'm going to outline this line. And this will be the color that I will use to write at the top. And I'm going to use some of my words, my word work. So the first thing I'm going to put in here is, I will put, I am an artist. And when I write my words, I want to start at the top of the paper and go down to the edge. If you want to do a line across, you want to add that in there. And then you want to leave some space in between your words. Now you can decide whether you want to do all capital, you could do some lowercase. I'm going to mix it up this time. So here I'm going to do I am. So my letter goes all the way to the top and then back to down to the bottom. Make sure that you can read it on the paper. I did a little bit off there, so I moved it down to check and make sure I can still see that's an M. I'm leaving a little bit of space between the words I am, an, and remember you want to do this after I am, and then I have a big space here, but I don't want to leave it empty. So I'm going to start the word here and finish it on the next line. So I am an artist. So I'm going to do an A, maybe I'll do a capital A here, and then maybe I'll put a lowercase r, and then I'm going to move down to my next line. Now my next line I want to do a different color, so I'm going to switch to, let's go to a darker green. Again, checking my marker. Yep, it's a good writer. Following the line. If you feel more comfortable with this, you could do it in pencil first. So I have I am an AR, then I need a T. I'm going to do a lowercase t. I, leaving space for the dot, S, and another lowercase t. Okay, so I kind of mixed it up there a little bit. If you want to, you could put a little, I'll put a little period here, and then I'll go to the next line. So I did this one, I can cross, or maybe put a little check by it. I don't want to do I am a teacher, I'm a mother, I'm an artist all at the same time, so I'm going to mix it up a little bit. Next I'll do follow your heart. So I'm going to start with an F, capital F, and then all of my other letters need to fill this in. F-O-L, maybe those will be lowercase, O-W. Now this, there's not really space, so I'm going to skip it and then go to my next one. Let's see, let's use a blue. I don't have a blue in yet, a nice dark blue. That's nice. So we'll go over my line, and then I'm going to be filling in that line with my words. Follow your, we'll make this one go a little bit inside because it hangs down and I want it all to be within this space. O, and be careful with your words. And then I'm going to squeeze them in here. Follow your, and then I'll do a capital here, maybe a little bit lower. E, A, R, and I'm getting bigger as the space gets bigger, and then I'll do a lowercase here, follow your heart. Then maybe this will be another I am statement. So I'll make an I and then go down to the next one. So you would fill this in, continue to use up all your spaces. If you run out of words but you still have lines, then you would repeat. So you could start at again at the beginning and rewrite what you've already written. Now once you have this all filled in, we're going to use some texture plates. Here are an example of a few. And we're going to color in the background spaces. When you color, you want to kind of think of making these two colors sort of match. So this is kind of a teal color. I'd want to use kind of a bluish or a teal color. Again, I'm going to use I could do that one. It's a little bit dark. Let's see, this one. I think I like that one more as a teal. I guess they don't look that much different, huh? And when you color with this, you color just like you would on anything else. You don't have to do really firm pressure. Oh, that's a nice contrast. So you can see the texture coming out. I'm not pressing firmly, I'm just coloring lightly. And the texture of the plate is showing up. If you look carefully, you can see kind of some flowers here, and then this is like a butterfly shape to fill in this space. So I'm just making sure my area that I'm coloring on is over the texture plate. It's okay if you go off the paper. Now I'm getting close to the edge here, so I want to move this so it's all on the texture plate again, and I'm going to finish coloring. I want to go from one edge to the other edge, filling in with gentle pressure to get the textures to show. And you would continue this throughout the background. You want to do the coloring in the background, filling this in first with words and markers, and then with crayons and textures. If you don't feel comfortable doing it with marker right away, you might want to do it in pencil first. And remember, you are not doing this writing until this paper has been seen by first a friend to check for spelling, and then your teacher for final proofreading. Once you have that finished, then you'll be ready for your chalk pastels.